It's my favorite, probably one of my favorite plants. This is really, when I first got into bonsai, this is one of the first things that I decided to go with. Hi guys, it's the Black Bonsai Guy, and today I will be going into my indoor atrium and doing a little bit of cleanup in there. Been neglecting to clean up the outside, my backyard and the atrium all year long, just because I wanted to let the bees take advantage of any weeds that pop up and things they could use as food sources. So I will be going in there right now and taking care of that foxtail fern, getting that bottom board out of there. That's for a beehive. Getting that out of there and just kind of tightening it up a little bit. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and get this bottom board out of here. I'm gonna go put this in my garage on the shelf where it needs to be. But we're gonna get up in here. Hopefully you guys can see everything. Bag here, if you will. We're just gonna go in here, clean this up a bit. I dumped some soil in here not too long ago, and should have did a better job of pushing it to the bottom. So we just gonna clean this up. Clean this up a bit, no big deal. Something that's quick. I've been not doing a good job of watering this. So I will make sure I start to give it some water at least every day until it gets back. Soil is real dry. These foxtail ferns, they hold water in little ball sacks beneath the soil, so they can go quite a long time without receiving water. But I let it go a little too far in this case. As you can see, that yellowing, that's a sign of not getting water. And I'll go ahead and take that one off because they don't really come back like other plants do. Go ahead and cut this one off, take that out. Got one over here. And if you guys heard something cut off just now, that's my air conditioner. It's actually above me on the roof. For some reason, they put air conditioners on the roof in Tucson. Not everywhere, but 90% of the places have it on the roof, which I think is absolutely crazy. But I'm sure it's done like that for a reason, unbeknownst to little old me. Okay, we just chopping these away, cleaning this up a bit. Trying not to cut the things that has growth on it. We'll take that one out. I got this foxtail fern from Green Things probably 3 or 4 years ago. And you just can't go wrong with a foxtail fern. Yeah, just absolutely amazing plants. They grow on their own. They don't really need fertilization, even though I'm gonna give it some food today. You'll see that in a second. Put that there. Remove around. Trash that. Trash that. Take taking all of these off because there's discoloration in the leaves, and like I said, they're not going to come back. Once they're like that until they die and fall off. All right. Much better. Sun should be able to penetrate that. All right. Take this one off. We'll leave him alone in the middle. Looks much better. So let me go ahead and dump this and I'll be back. All right. So as you can see, got a couple of banana peels here. I'm just going to go ahead on and create a little space in the soil if I can. This is really dry. I let it go too far. I need to water this like every day until it gets back to where it needs to be. Don't worry, that banana peel will break down over time. Get a little bit of water. One more. Bada boom. Put that over there. Take this geode, place it over here. Give a little contrast. A little bit of contrast. Got my broom over here. Get this out the way. And I'm just gonna sweep my door sills off. Get rid of any winter and spring dust. Bada boom, bada bing. Close this for a second, pardon me. Good already. Go ahead and pick up some leaves that may have fell. Just throw those in here. Leveling off the rocks a bit. Got this nice little red rock that ended up in here somehow. A couple of leaves over here. Let's get those out of there. I think we are done. Easy little cleanup job right quick. Don't take long. And that's it. So that didn't take long. Took maybe 10 minutes to clean up. I think everything looks good with my indoor atrium now. Go ahead and close the door. Do a little sweep up around the door jamb. And we are done. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick little video. Oh, I forgot to mention foxtail fern. The way you take care of a foxtail fern is make sure you give it water. If it's a young plant, you may want to give it shade at least for the first 2 or 3 years. They can't really take a lot of direct sun out here in Tucson, Arizona. If you're in places that don't get real hot like us, I'm sure they can do full sun. But out here, give it like the first 2 years of some shade. I threw some bananas in there to give it a little bit of fertilizer while that soil reconstitutes itself until the soil gets some moisture in it. So what I plan to do is I'm going to water it twice a day, probably for about a week or so. Get the bulbs of the plant hydrated. And then what I'm going to do is give it some fertilizer. I'm probably going to give it some Oxycoat or Ozymote. Let me show you. Ozymocoat. And this is, I use this pretty much on everything that's outdoor. This is, I'm looking for the MPK. This is a 15912. 15912. That's your MPK reading on it. Again, I'll be using this as a little bit of fertilizer to help it along. Main thing is just to get some water in it and get those bulbs that you can't see below the soil line, get them reconstituted with some moisture. And hopefully in a couple of months, you'll start to see some shoots come out and they will create more of those little ferns. It's my favorite, probably one of my favorite plants. This is really, when I first got into bonsai, this is one of the first things that I decided to go with in terms of plants. So this is probably my oldest plant, now that I think about it. I have plants that are older than this, trees that are older than this, but personally, this was probably one of the first plants that I bought that I could think of. Well, anyway, I won't hold you long. Let me back out a little bit so you can see how it looks, a better angle. I'm trying to be as smooth as possible. That's my Shivarya Nataraji. I like collecting art. I got all types of Hindu art, Bali art, African art, you name it. And then beneath it, don't want to go too far, I have some Chinese food dogs. That's just like what I like to collect. And I figured it's a nice little spot to put this out there right in front of my atrium. So without further ado, it's the Black Bonsai Guy. I'm out.